Good morning, good morning. This is Non-Fungible Yash streaming live from Sharda University. Once again, I'm with Dr. Sandeep. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Thank you, Yash, for having me.
Absolutely, sir. Sir, firstly, before I bombard you with all my questions, I would love if you can give us a 1 minute quick introduction.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sandeep Shukla, and from my background, I'm a pharmacy graduate and postgraduate, and then I worked some time in IIT Kanpur, and I did my PhD from IIT Mandi, and I work in molecular biology and some interdisciplinary subjects, and especially ferroelectric materials, biomedical applications of ferroelectric materials, some molecular biology, especially cancer biology, and some longevity products development.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir, for joining. Sir, of course, you are doing a lot of research. Can you quickly summarize what all research areas you're particularly working on right now?
So currently, I am having a lab sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, which is having flow cytometry and fluorescence microscopy and animal tissue culture lab. So there, what we can do, I can grow any kind of cells artificially from your hair to nail. So we grow the cells artificially, and then we try to analyze the cells with the flow cytometry at the molecular level. What are the enzymes, proteins? We can identify that, and of course with the fluorescence microscopy we can identify the treated and untreated drug, what is happening inside the cell. So that is what basically we do. And if you talk about areas, so we work in cancer and TB, and apart from that, my personal interest is also there in longevity and some cosmetic products. So that's what we do. And some recently we have started working in some bioengineered microbes for the production of some biopharmaceuticals and all.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that. I think, sir, you recently mentioned that you have developed a new technique, right? LCMS. So can you share a little bit behind the development of that technique? Let's say someone is studying that technique, right? How can they actually think about developing a new technique, or actually, creating, I would say, ways which can actually, fast forward science?
Yeah. So let me correct you a little bit. So we have developed HPLC method for LCMS method was there for drug estimation in second line MDR TB patient blood samples. So we have developed HPLC method. Any student, first he has to be well versed with the science behind it. So until and unless you are having enough knowledge, you cannot apply your wisdom to get some tangible outcome, right?
Absolutely.
So he has to or she has to well versed with the science behind it. Suppose, for example, if I talk about HPLC method development, so you need to know the basics of chemistry, like what is the polarity, what are the drugs, what is log P, what is octanol values. So if you know the science behind it and you want to separate compounds and identify compounds, so you can definitely mix and match based on your science. So that is how they can develop. So first thing is basics, and apart from that, of course, the perseverance and resilience. That's, I always say that if you can bounce back after falling, then nobody can stop you from winning.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. I think perseverance is definitely very important to, innovate science, right?
Correct.
And I think, sir, in the age of AI, of course, things are moving very fast, right? So
Correct.
what opinion do you have of people that are, just started their journey? A lot of people are actually claiming that the value of PhD will rapidly decline. The reason being, I think, firstly, earlier, if you could just, figure out a structure of a protein, you could potentially get a PhD, right? Of course, it all got failed
Correct.
by isomorphic labs, right?
Yeah.
And
AlphaFold.
AlphaFold solved all that problem, right? So it solved very quickly. And nowadays also, earlier it was assumed that if you could, publish a single paper, you could get your PhD. But now, of course, using AI, a lot of people, even non-scientists, sir, are
Yeah.
publishing research papers, are doing heavy research, right?
Correct.
So-
School kids are doing.
School kids, right? Even
Yeah.
10th
And
grade kids.
that is the beauty of science.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And that is what evolution is. Humans are evolving, techniques are evolving, and earlier a drug used to take 20 years of time, $20 million of investment, then used to come to the market. Now you can do everything in just 2 years.
Absolutely.
Alright, so that is good. That is good in terms of, and in my opinion, it was never essential to have a PhD to do science. There were people who have done marvelous work in science and innovation. They were not having PhD. So let me correct you. PhD you need if you want to go in academics, but for science you don't need a PhD. All right, and as you rightly said, these days anyone can learn anything. So for students, I must say that they should always learn AI and ML. It doesn't matter which field you belongs to. AI ML is must for everyone. So in fact, some of the startups are there. I know some of the startups where like MAHE is there. They are collaborating with schools, central schools and other schools. So they are trying to impart this AI, ML and everything for school teachers, for students, which is good.
Absolutely.
So when internet came, everyone was like, so it changed everything since then. The same phase is happening right now.
Absolutely, sir. And I think, of course, we talked about this, that after all the technological problems that would be, solved, I think bio problems will definitely be there, especially diseases, right? And if someone wants to work in drug discovery, sir, of course, like you rightly mentioned, they don't need to do PhDs, right?
Correct.
Of course, we all know in silico drug discovery, right? So I think if someone wants to work in drug discovery, sir, what do you think if they don't have the access of universities and if they don't want to go the academic route? Do you still think they can create an impact? Because of course, sir, CROs, contract research organizations are there. So let's say if they want to target a disease X, they can find out the receptor using all of the PDB data that's already there. Do all the molecular docking, MDS, all of that stuff, and they can potentially even connect with research organizations.
So, like you said, anyone can do science. Of course, they don't need university or things. Of course, if you can afford university, if you can go to PhD, that would be very helpful in drug discovery or whatever science you want to do. But if you're not having access, but still you can do few things. Like there are so many channels you can learn docking and simulation. So many small courses are running by various universities. Some private organizations are also running. Some open sources are there. Autodoc is there. You can learn the docking online, do it, practice it. You can do the simulation and you can identify some lead compounds, and then if you think, you can contact some of the labs in the country which can synthesize those molecules for you. They can analyze those molecules for you, characterize those molecules for you, and then for biological activity there are again so many institutions and so many organizations. So for preclinical study, you can send your sample, they'll tell them what to do, they will evaluate your compound and they'll give you the results, right? And at the end, you can of course contact some CRO for your clinical validation. So of course you don't need, but yes, you cannot do it yourself and claim that it is clinically validated. So once suppose you want to claim that my compound or whatever it is has this structure, so it has to be characterized by a certified lab which is having certain certificate, and it has to be done by some person who is authorized to certify that. Similarly for clinical also, so you need to have some doctors and some other people who can validate the data and analyze the data for you.
No, absolutely, sir. But no, I think the question still remains that, of course, people are saying that this is the era of citizen science.
Correct.
That people who are not scientists, who are not academics,
Correct.
regular people can use AI. Let's say, sir, of course, for all the regular diseases, the common diseases, we have drugs, right? We have good drugs. But for diseases that are not so common,
Correct.
extreme cancers or some other disease, genetic diseases, do you think AI can also support there and maybe try to find?
Hugely. I mean, NGS data, flow cytometry data, any kind of data, characterization of rare diseases, genetic sequencing, anything. AI makes it so quick, and it does not. Earlier you used to require so many experts for the same work, right? Someone is doing NGS, someone is doing sequencing, someone is again doing some other work. You need so much expertise. Even someone is there for data analysis only. Some statistical person should be there who will analyze the data, because doctors don't study maths as much or statistics much.
Yeah.
So they always have some person who can do the statistics for them. What should be the number of patient in this study and all that. Now you can just put, this is the disease, this is my target area, this is this. How can I calculate the number? In 5 seconds you can have everything on your laptop, right? So that is how AI is not only making these things swift, but at the same time it reduces the need of all those people who were required earlier to integrate a particular research. And in my opinion, this is the era of interdisciplinary research. So it's always, AI always helps, because a problem cannot be solved by one field only. I mean, for example, cardiosurgeon is there, so he cannot do a cardiac surgery or stunt without some material scientist who has designed those stunts, right? Or some physicist who has studied the flow through the fluid dynamics, right? So now with the help of AI, anyone can have some basic knowledge. Suppose a doctor is there, he can learn a little bit physics through AI, and he can get it done, and it can be validated further by some other expert. But definitely it is doing things tremendously well for science.
Absolutely, sir. I think, of course, like you mentioned, you're working in longevity as well.
Yeah.
If you talk about Brian Johnson, I think he claims he's the most measured person, right? And he runs a lot of studies on himself. He takes a lot of supplements and whatnot, right? He takes 100 plus pills.
Yeah, I know.
He
But
claims.
and some people are saying this as well. He's struggling now. Whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I don't follow him.
Yeah, someone claimed that he got an autoimmune
Maybe
thyroid
some
disease.
I don't know. I mean, I don't follow him,
Yeah.
but I know the.
Yeah. No, but
know
I
the
mean,
info.
he is claiming, or he's at least trying that at least, I mean, he says that in let's say 50 years, death would be optional.
Not 50 years, 25 to 30 years.
Death would be optional, do you think so?
Yeah. Because you see, I also work in an area. A drug is called nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, NAD+. There are a lot of supplements are out there. So there is Dr. David Sinclair, a Harvard Medical College professor. So US FDA. So there is plethora of literature of preclinical studies and all that. US FDA has approved NMN this March, I think, to conduct clinical trial, first time in the human history, for reversing cell age, and they are treating blind people with that drug. So you can see again, blind people can see again. So clinical trial is going on. So it's a real thing. It is happening right now. So because aging is modulation in the cell and the process, right? If a process can move in one direction, it can move to other direction as well. So technically, so it's very, very, very possible that in few years, I mean, at least it can increase the life of human by
200.
No, at least 30-40 years.
30-40, realistically.
Yeah, that I follow those things very closely.
Absolutely.
And David Sinclair and some other professors are also there. There is in 2012, if I'm not wrong, Yamanaka got Nobel Prize for this, Yamanaka factors, for Yamanaka factor. So sirtuins, so NMN. So they modulate the sirtuins and they reprogram the cell and everything. Because as you age, the NAD level goes down. So that is why everything slows down, everything age inside the cell. So what these people are trying to do, they are trying to infuse the NMN from outside so it can come back again. Kim Kardashian is taking that.
Right.
And Salma Hayek is taking that. Salma Hayek, you see, she's 60-year-old and she looks
30. Yeah, of course, sir. But do you think this will only be available to billionaires or billionaires?
No, that's what we're. So, like I told you, we are doing some bioengineering, microbial production of biopharmaceutical products.
Right.
So that biopharmaceutical product is NMN only.
Okay.
So currently it is costly, but once we will be able to develop some method through which we can produce such biopharmaceuticals in large quantity at the lower cost, it would be available to everyone.
Absolutely, and I think.
But as of now, there is a long way to go because human body is a complex system.
30 years minimum, realistically.
No. I mean, human body is a complex system. I mean, the clinical trials now will tell us that it can really reverse the aging or not in human. In mice, they have proved it already.
Right.
In animals, they have proved it already. But in human, is it going to do that or not? And in long-term use, what would be the impact on other organs and things? Let's see. But because why they are saying, if I don't know much about other products, but NMN I know because we are also working in that direction. So every cell of your body is having NAD, right? Otherwise it will not be function.
Right.
So I don't think technically if the level is going up a little bit, it is going to have any side effect because it's already there in your body. It's a form of vitamin B3.
Right.
So let's see. I mean, that might be optional, I'm telling you.
Perfect. No, but sir, what do you think about the era of biohacking? And people are, nowadays taking unregulated peptides as well in the
Yeah,
US.
that
Is little sketchy, right?
yes, that
Because
is
nobody even knows
that
who's
is scary
manufacturing.
as well. Actually, although I mean, there is a term called nutraceuticals, right? So that doesn't really come under the drug, and that doesn't really come under really under supplements.
Right.
So that is not as tightly regulated as drugs are regulated.
That's just a loophole to kind
Yeah,
of get by.
yeah. So that might be, and these days, so many noise on social media. Every day we are working in on some hair regrowth and some system. And once I have started looking at the social media, following the hair regrowth, every day I'm getting some new product.
Right.
Every day I'm getting some new feed, new product, and that started putting me into some clinical depression. Literally, I'm telling you that. So I started thinking, should I drop this idea or what? Then I thought, these are noises. So like, Instagram, I have ordered 2-3 times. I mean, this impulsive, under the influence of this Instagram ads. So I never found the same product 2-3 times. Never found the same product, and it is doing similar thing or what. People advertise and they can send you anything.
Unregulated, totally unregulated. And we should refrain from doing.
Yeah.
And even injecting all those peptides, right?
That is, some people are too crazy.
Right. I mean,
they
that's
can try
not,
anything.
Do you think that's science?
No.
People are, injecting peptides in the name of science.
No. Actually, especially in Western countries, I was looking at the pattern of ads. So one day I was sitting. I used to think, earlier the ads used to be like they were telling about the product and happy faces, they are making your life easier, something like that. Now, the education level is up, so everyone talks about molecular biology in the ad.
Right.
That person who is just a gym trainer.
Everybody has become an expert.
Yes. Who is a gym trainer, he's talking about some science stuff and shit. Sometimes I get surprised. And why do regulatory agencies allows that? Yes, because they are having 2, 5, 10 million followers or whatever. Someone who is sitting there, he might feel like, oh, this is the thing.
Right. So we have to absolutely refrain from that, right?
Yes, of course. I strongly suggest that we should not buy or use anything which is not certified, which is not approved by US FDA or WHO or CDSCO.
Yeah, sir, because even on Twitter, I recently saw that a lot of Indian tech bros, they are, sitting in meetings, and, there are a lot of meetups where they are just giving, I would say, peptides, like anything, like a party. Party drinks.
So that is what I'm saying. Until unless the trials,
I think that is against the science culture.
Yeah. Of course. Even if I'm talking about NMN, of course it is having very good results, preclinical results and everything. So many literature are there. But still I say, until unless the clinical trials and it is clinically validated, people should think twice before taking it.
Absolutely, sir, absolutely.
And peptides, how would you, first thing what I feel, even if it is, the science is good behind it, how would you verify that it is pure?
Yeah, the compound that you're being sent is
yes,
the correct one.
So always buy these kind of things from authentic sources first, and use it for the indication only. I mean, just the thing it has been designed for, it should be used for that only.
No, because yeah, I mean, in India, of course, it all starts with the US, right? But
Yeah.
In India, I've also seen that people are outsourcing peptides and they've started up their own company. Right?
Yeah.
Started ads and whatnot.
I have seen NMN and resveratrol. I mean, 3 companies, they are just buying NMN, filling inside the capsule
Yeah.
and selling it.
Right.
And 2 or 3 companies I have seen, which is there in Shark Tank, India,
Yeah.
and they got funding as well, and they use it as for their. In US, there are too many brands which is having this all the supplements and NAD plus. You will see the bold letter NAD plus, and there are some labs as well which is exclusively producing NMN only or NAD. In UK also, China. I also have NMN 1 kg NMN in my lab, so we are working on that, but we are trying to produce some significant scientific data, then only we can go into the market.
Absolutely, sir. I think, of course, all these things should be taken in caution only. And of course, this is not medical advice, as always. And I think, sir, of course, my last question to you would be, of course, you being so heavily involved in drug discovery, so what do you think are the major challenges right now? Of course, even if someone or anyone, even if any company gets done with the, I would say, in silico data, like you rightly mentioned, they have to go with animal studies and then human study. All of these things take crazy amount of time, right?
Yeah.
So do you think like we'll be actually able to solve all the diseases and find a cure? Because cancer and all these things are very personalized.
So see, human, the time till human would be present on this earth, new diseases would be coming, that is for sure. You didn't know COVID, right, earlier. So of course we are moving fast in solving many diseases and all that, but new kind of disease elements as human evolve, as environment affects. If you are living in Delhi, you are smoking, right? Even if you are breathing. So eventually, these things would be solved, but new things would be coming as well. So doctors are safe.
What about scientists though?
Doctors and scientists. Doctors and scientists.
Perfect. I think so. One last question, just because you mentioned COVID. I think recently a White House document shared about COVID vaccine, and it explicitly said that it was all a plan, in the sense that Wuhan was actually working on it, and it actually got released and carried away. And there is actually a trial going against Dr. Anthony Fauci, right? And it's very crazy, and people are claiming that the US system is a joke, because he actually claimed that he's under 5th Amendment. He claimed that 111 times, right? And he didn't even answer a single question, right? So, sir, do you actually think, of course, the general audience, me being a doctor, they think doctors are the puppets, right? If they are advised to give a vaccine by their higher authorities, they are supposed to give the vaccine, right? So if we talk about COVID vaccine, and of course so that relates to other vaccines like dengue, HPV and other vaccines as well, do you think COVID vaccine was only prescribed for emergency use and pushed by pharma companies for their financial benefit, or like what's the you being a scientist and researching heavily, what do you think?
No, I think that I won't be an appropriate person to comment on that, because I do not really have interest in what pharma companies are doing, what others are doing, but of course, I mean, so if I'm not expert of that, so I don't want to comment on that. But of course, these kind of things happened in the past, whatever we have read in the newspaper and all the articles. Some articles are also there, and it is everywhere. I mean, the malpractices are there. So there are people who are publishing fake data as well. So it's difficult to really comment on that, but it's okay. I mean, some people, not in pharma, but in other field also. So always businessmen are there to make money.
Absolutely. Perfect. Thank you so much, sir, for answering
Thank
this.
you.
This is Dr.
Thank you.
Sandeep. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.